Okay, so now we're going to look at what happens when we have a chemical equation where one of the products, or one of the reactants, sorry, is used up and one of them is in excess. In other words, there's more of it, there's stuff left over. Okay, so if we take a very simple, again, a simple equation. So let's just say we have magnesium plus oxygen gives me magnesium oxide. Now, normally oxygen is O2, but just for our purposes, just for this reaction, let's just say it was just one oxygen, and just to make it easier for ourselves. Okay, so magnesium plus oxygen gives you magnesium oxide. Okay, so if this is our little equation, all right, if we go into our periodic table in your book, all right, I'm going to quickly look up the mass of magnesium. All right, magnesium is 24,3. All right, and oxygen is 16. Yep. All right, then my mass in units of that would be the sum of those two together, and so you end up with 40,3 units. Okay, so that would be that. Now, if I said to you, I'm going to react magnesium and oxygen together, all right, and I'm going to put them in a container and allow them to react, okay, magnesium and oxygen. Now, if I give you the amounts, so say for example, I have, let's make it 20 grams of magnesium, and I'm reacting it with let's say 15 grams of oxygen. Now the question is, which one of these will run out when I react these two together, and which one will be in excess? So what you're going to try and do in this case is you're going to say, okay, you're going to predict which one you think is going to run out, and then you're going to test your theory. If it's wrong, then you just have to do the other calculation. If it's right, great, you've got the answer straight away. So it's a bit of a trial and error. But think about it logically. Okay, so if this is 20, all right, so this is 24 to 16. Okay, this is 20 to 15. So which one do you think is going to run out first? So I'm going to say, okay, well, I think that the magnesium is going to run out first. So if magnesium you think is going to run out first, okay, that means you're going to have an excess of oxygen, is what you say. Okay, so if I'm going to excess of oxygen, I need to find out how much oxygen I'm going to need to react with 24 grams of, or 20 grams of magnesium. So that means I'm going to have to do my calculation. Again, same as in the previous one, this one's actually going to get less. So this value should be getting less because of that ratio. So I'm going to say, okay, if it's going to get less, I'm going to say it's 16,0 divided by 24,3, all right? And then multiply that by the amount of magnesium that you had, which is the 20 grams. Okay, so now we've got that. Now if I check my calculator and I type in 16 divided by 24.3, all right, and then I multiply that by 20, and I end up with 13,16 grams. Okay, so my prediction was correct because I need less oxygen than I actually have. All right, I only needed 13,16 grams and I have 15 grams, so there is going to be some leftover oxygen in this case. All the magnesium is going to be used up and we're going to have some leftover oxygen. The question in the end could then possibly be, okay, well, how much oxygen would be left over if all 20 grams of the magnesium was reacted? And then very simply, you're going to say, well, I had 15, I only need 13,16. So all you're going to do is go 15 minus 13,16, and you're going to end up with, what will it be, 1,84 grams, right, of oxygen in excess. Okay, so that would be your final answer, all right? 1,84 grams of oxygen in excess. All right, hopefully that's good, and I'll answer your questions if you need them.